Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to lesson 2.8. Today we're going to compare methods of one-digit multiplication by two-digit multiplication. So let's start our lesson today with a question. What are some different ways we can multiply 45 times 2? One way that you've already learned is called the place value sections method. In this method, you break apart one of the factors by its place value, separating the tens from the ones, and then multiplying each of those tens by 2, and then multiplying the ones by 2. So we would essentially multiply 2 times 40, which is 80, and then 2 times 5, which is 10, and then add it all together to get 90. Another method that we can use is called the expanded notation method. In this method, we would create an area model similar to the place value sections method, but in this case, instead of writing on the actual area model, we will do some think work off to the side. So we can set up our problem as 45 times 2. And we know that 45, we pull it apart, is the same as in expanded form, 40 plus 5. And we know that 2 separated by its place value would just be 2. Then we want to go ahead and multiply, just like we did in the other example, but in this case we're going to multiply in our equation. So we would multiply 40 times 2, or 2 times 40, which equals 80, and then we will multiply 5 times 2, or 2 times 5, which is 10. And when we add these up, 80 plus 10 equals 90. So in this case, our answer is also 90. And in this case, we did not use the area model, we just used our equation to help solve by pulling apart the place value and then multiplying each the tens by 2 and the ones by 2, and then adding the partial products together. We can also show this by looking at the area model, because we multiplied the tens by 2 and also the ones by 2. And finally, with the algebraic notation method, I'm going to write the equation again, so it's 2 times 45. And this time I'm going to set up an algebraic equation. I know it's 2 times 45, which is 2 times 40. And then it's also plus 2 times 5. So I know that 45 is the same as 40 plus 5 times 2. In this case, I will work to the right of my equation, and I know that 2 times 40 equals 80, and 2 times 5 equals 10. So it's 80 plus 10, which equals 90. So in each of these examples, I'll always get the same answer, 90. There's just 3 different ways to solve it, the equation. And hopefully what you've noticed by now is that in all 3 of these methods, each time we're adding together 80 plus 10. Whether it was algebraic notation method, expanded notation, or place value sections, each of them have the same partial products that are added together each time. Okay, so let's fill in this expanded notation problem together. It's partially been done for us. So it says 98 equals what plus 8? Well, if I break that apart, I know there's 9 tens and 98, so it would be 90 plus 8 equals 98. And as I move down the equation, I can see 3 equals what? Well, I know that 3, whatever's on this side of this equation, has to balance with this side. So I know if there's 3 over here, I must also have 3 over here. Okay. And then I need to take and bring down the pulled apart place value. So it will be 3 times 90 equals 270, because 9 times 3 is 27, add the 0, and then I need to multiply 3 times 6 to equal 18. Okay, and then I want you to finish the last step using this question on the Edpuzzle. Okay, and finally we have algebraic notation. So my question for you is, what number belongs inside of the yellow box? Okay, the video is going to pause and then put in your answer. My second question is, what number or partial product belongs in the green box? So what belongs here in the green box? Go ahead and the video will pause and then fill in your answer. And finally, what will the answer be? What number will go in the red box? Go ahead and the video will pause and please mark your answer. Alright, boys and girls, so now you've seen all 3 methods, the place value sections method, expanded notation, and algebraic notation method. My question for you is, what is similar or the same about all 3 of these methods? The video is going to pause and then go ahead and answer that question, and I'll see you tomorrow in class.